Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm doing a review of Linguacious flashcards, which seems to be a language learning method designed mainly for children, but can be pretty useful for adults too. And they sent me a deck of Italian flashcards last week. And you may have seen me using these in my all-day Italian live stream when I was learning Italian. You can go back and watch that video from about a week ago, and you'll see me using these flashcards periodically on and off throughout the day. And I learned a lot. It was a pretty interesting way of learning new vocabulary. Now, before I even get into the review, I want to mention up front that I don't get any kind of compensation or commission for doing this review. This is just me offering my honest opinion about the product, and I don't recommend products that I don't believe in. And if there's ever a time where I do a review on a product that I didn't like, then I'm just going to tell you that. I'm dedicated to spreading the best information, the most valuable information for helping you learn your language. Now, with that said, I do always recommend trying a wide variety of different language learning resources. Okay, and even if it's something that I didn't personally like, it may be something that you find valuable and helpful. Okay, so I always recommend experimenting with different things because I don't want people just to fall into the rut of using Duolingo every day and hoping that that's going to help you become fluent in your language. It's like, no, you have to do more than that. You have to do other things that are going to activate other parts of your brain that are going to be useful at other times of the day, or be part of your life in some different way rather than just Duolingo all the time. And I see people online on Instagram and on Twitter, and it seems like they think if I just become more disciplined and more consistent with Duolingo, then I'll reach the level of my language that I want to reach. And you can't do that. You have to have a wide variety of resources. Okay, and some are going to be better than others. Some are going to be more useful, and some are going to be more more of a central part of your language learning strategy. And then others are just going to be a nice supplement to your language learning strategy. And that's what I see Linguacious as. No one is under the impression that learning these 52 vocabulary words is going to make you fluent in the language. Okay, you have to do other stuff. But it is a nice way of just adding one more thing to your larger array of language learning strategies that's going to help you do things, it's going to help make language learning more fun and varied. So it's not just monotonous all the time. I'm a pretty big fan of using flashcards for vocabulary acquisition. Some people say that you can only learn vocabulary in context, and I don't agree with that. I use Memrise and Anki a lot, and other online digital flashcards, but I don't have a whole lot of experience using physical flashcards, mainly because, well, probably the biggest limitation of physical flashcards is that you're pretty limited in the scope of learning that you can do with a single deck of flashcards, right? This is a pretty small vocabulary set. It's 52 vocabulary words, or 104 vocabulary words. They have a few languages where they have 2 decks. So from 52 to 104 vocabulary words is not very much. Whereas if you go on Memrise or Anki, you could potentially find courses that will teach you 50,000 vocabulary words or something like that. So if you're just using these as simple flashcards, it kind of falls flat. It's far inferior to other online decks. And you're just going to kind of burn through these 52 words pretty quick, and then they're just going to sit in your drawer forever until they go in the rummage sale or the garage sale box. Is rummage sale a word outside of Wisconsin? This is a word we use here all the time, but I feel like other places might say garage sale or yard sale, not rummage sale. I don't know. If you're from Wisconsin, leave me a comment below if you use that word, and if you're not from Wisconsin as well. So anyway, sorry about that small digression. So there's some very serious limitations to using physical flashcards. you have to pay for them, and then you have a very small amount of words that you can actually learn as compared to memorize, which is free and basically unlimited. There are some strengths. Wow, that's a hard word to say. There's 4 consonants in that consonant cluster. Okay, there are some strengths that this system has too. First of all, you can't play games with a memorized deck. But with these Linguacious cards, you can see that it's not just vocabulary words here, right? We have different suits in various colors, and that allows you to play different games with these, okay? They don't have numbers, and these cards are two-sided, so you can't use them to play normal games that you would normally play with cards, like poker or spades or something like that. But they have a list of different games that you can play with these and instructions for how to play them, ranging from very, very young children. Like, you know, they have some games, I don't know if you can see that, it's designed for ages 2+. So they have some games that are designed for 2-year-olds and other games that are more suited for adults. And that's important because making things varied and fun is going to be it's going to go a long way in helping you stay motivated to learn the language. Okay, especially for children, because you can't just do things that are just monotonous with them. I don't have any children myself, so I can't speak too much about it, but I know for sure that kids aren't going to be disciplined enough to stick with a language learning system that's not grasping their attention and keeping them interested. Okay. Another big plus is that you see they have these QR codes on there. So you just download the app on your iPad or your phone or whatever you have, and then when you're using these cards, you can scan the code, and it gives you a pronunciation by a native speaker. And I found that to be really useful when I was using this last week, because I was constantly forgetting how to pronounce some of these words. Where's the one that I was having a lot of trouble with? For Italian speakers, you know that you have some strange pronunciation of GL. This word right here would throw me off every single time. And I would look at the flashcard and I would be like, I remember the spelling. I remember that it's GLI, but I don't remember how to pronounce it. So then I would scan the code and I would get that pronunciation. And, you know, it's helpful for learning the stress of the words, because at least with Italian, the stress isn't always obvious by looking at the word. Some languages like French, the stress is always on the last syllable, so it's easier. But yeah, you know, you're using your flashcard, and then it's just a nice, useful way of having the pronunciation right there on hand, which, as far as I'm aware, you can't do with any other physical flashcards. It's very easy to have that with Memorize or Anki, but if you're a physical flashcard person, then that's a very useful thing that they implemented. Implementation, is that the right word? It's a nice thing to have on there. Another really nice thing is that they have seemingly a lot of languages that you can do this. So, you know, if you've been struggling finding resources for one of the languages that you're learning, check out Linguacious, because they have pretty big inventory of languages. If I'm looking at their website right now, and they have like Kurdish, Zulu, Xhosa, or however you pronounce that word, starts with an X. I think it's like a South African language. Now, some of these are maybe out of stock, and I think some of them are still in development. But they're planning on producing a lot more. So it's just another nice thing about this company that you don't see all the time. So that's the main points of the review that I wanted to do. Take it for what it is. It's not going to be the thing that teaches you your foreign language, but it could be something that's very fun to add in and implement. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, consider doing that, because I release new videos twice a week that are designed to help you make language learning faster, easier, and more fun. So you don't want to miss out on that. I would really appreciate a thumbs up on the video, and I'll see you guys this Friday on my weekly live stream.